Hello everyone again, this is Koji from Celestial Rhythms. What exciting times we're in. Just a few more days into the 20th of January, which is kind of that critical day where the power will be shifting into the next term. So everybody expects something different. It's really quite a wild time. The media and everybody likes to tell us it will be this, and many people who do research know it will be that. So just listen to a great update by Simon Parkes. That is a recommended source for those who have not been familiar with this name yet. It's really worth checking him out. So let's just look at the astrology today to start with. So let me just pull up the chart here. This is the one I want to bring up. So early morning on the 16th, just 3 days now, it's since the new moon was new. Conjunct Pluto, activating Pluto, who had been visited by Jupiter and charged up by all these other planets over the whole last year since the Sun last met Pluto. Lots have been going on with that Plutonic energy, and that is now harvested as the Sun has pulled up and activated those energies. Lots of transformations and shedding skin and change in a complex way. That's what we are seeing happening, and it started. So the American nation's Pluto is in that hexagram where the Sun just entered 26, 22, 30 till 2 degrees Aquarius is the range. Just want to show you this quickly here on this wheel, which shows you the overlay of the 64 hexagrams. So 26, 22, 30, that is the borderline here. Last 5 days the Sun was in hexagram 61, that's where the new moon was, where Pluto still is right now, inner truth, which I was referring to as being that energy of piercing towards what is really true, what is at the core of reality, what is hiding behind all the smoke screens. It's kind of that intention has been set. Now as the Sun, which is kind of the main energy, naturally, I mean all life force, all life-sustaining energy comes from the Sun. This is the theme of the next 6 days. That's approximately how long it takes for the Sun to cruise through one of these 64 hexagrams. So that whole time we are expecting so many different shifts and changes, and different people expect different things. That's what's happening in these next few days. And also in this hexagram at 0 degree Aquarius, 026, Jupiter and Saturn had met on December the 21st, kicking off that new huge cycle, which many have been naming as the real start of the age of Aquarius, the real breakthrough moment into the new timeline of the new age. The best is yet to come. It's just starting. So, okay, limitation is the classic name of this hexagram, and I also have read, I Richard Rath's take. Richard Rath has written the book on the gene keys, and this is actually the structure of the 60th hexagram. Below is the lake, above is the water. The lake only can contain a limited amount of water, so that's the basic idea here. Limitation is necessary in many ways, otherwise we would go crazy. We are limited beings, and it is that transition from that limited form into the greater universe which this gateway is all about. And also justice. The 60th gene key is one of the deepest transmissions of the gene keys. It's not easy to penetrate and understand. It will take some time as we contemplate it. The shadow here, that's lowest frequency band, is limitation. We hear that word and perhaps think, oh no, I don't want to be limited, but we are and always will be until we're dead. Even then, who knows, limitation is not the enemy. Absolutely not. Limitation is necessary. We would be overwhelmed, as I say. So it's a very structured energy, bringing one thing in at a time. I spoke about that also in relation of the Jupiter-Saturn cycle just starting, as this is the base energy, that there will be so many possibilities opening in the next short while, in the next few months, in the next years. We would be just blown away, overwhelmed, not knowing where to start if there would be no structural setup here, a kind of a sequence of what's coming first. So that, just on that note, here this is a picture. I'm on this email with Richard Rath, and each time the sun changes signs, I get these emails. Common sense is not in opposition to magic. That's another koan, so to say, with hexagram 60. So even though it's a very mundane energy in its basic concept, what we will see evolving out of it is magical. That's kind of in a nutshell said. So let's go now into the astrology. Let's see what this moment when this energy was activated looked like. That was early morning in Washington when the sun crossed that line. The sun now in between Pluto and Saturn. So it is, even just from this point of view, it is the culmination of this Pluto-Saturn conjunction, which is in a nutshell the spiritual war in hexagram 61. They met just about a year ago on the 10th of January 2020, which initiated that big tailspin, that final battle, that with all that complexity and limitations on many levels. So this chart is interesting in many ways. First of all, the 25th degree of Leo is up here. That is President Trump's Mars at 26. So this in itself shows that this will be a time he will take action. He will guide that ship through these waters. So let's go now into the astrology here a little more. The new moon of January the 13th was the starting point, really, of this cruise. And there are a few more points which I would like to add to this chart. Actually, two. I made here, let me just open that. Okay, so there's two additional points, 1999 CZ 118, which is a Kuiper belt object, and TD10 also was discovered in 1999. So these two are strongly placed in this new moon chart for Washington, D.C. You see 1917 Libra, that's exactly T-squaring the midheaven midnight axis. This point has been found to be very action-oriented, revolutionary and radical in approach, outspoken, unbending, systematic, exposing one's thoughts despite lurking opposition and loss of popularity. It's about overthrowing existing orders, even at the cost of destroying something dear and valuable, obsessive, emotionally detached, tearing down something apart in order to create a rift for something unprecedented to appear. This is interesting to say the least. And then we have a second one, TD10, which at this moment of when the new moon was exact, was at 69 at the 1702 Cancer, so right up here in the 9th house, very exactly T-squaring the ascendant and descendant at 1702. So another one which holds lots of meaning for that particular location at that time of the cycle in this particular new moon next 4 weeks. Biting into something, sinking one's teeth into something, becoming set or fixed on something, insisting, determination, stubbornness, tenacity. So you can see that is pretty exact description of what we are seeing. In my last update I was speaking of Mars here in early Taurus now. Through these days, Mars entered Taurus, I guess, about a week ago, and is now cruising through this hot zone of activating that big square which I was pointing out in my last update, Radamantis, about justice and righteousness. So is Varuna, Saturn and Jupiter, the two society-shaping energies, and Mars with Uranus and the black moon, bringing the shadow into full apparition, bringing it out of the mere idea world into physical form. That's what Taurus is all about, giving something body, making it visible, giving it manifestation, so everyone can see. And there's also TX300, another Kuiper belt object, which is rude and loud and stomps down its feet, makes lots of noise, makes total sense that these energies are right now accentuated. This is a countdown, this is the final battle we're seeing, and everything seems to kind of meet around the 19th. Those of you who follow Q will remember it has been circulated plenty of times, that picture with the watch with the 19 and the 1 on it. So there's lots of apprehension, things are happening. Even if the other guy should be sworn in, which could happen as as they would allow it to happen. However, be assured that would only be a show. This guy wouldn't have power at all. It would just be to extend the game a little bit, and that's actually possible, because the most important thing President Trump is promoting is to have no civil war. He wants to prevent a civil war at all costs. Lives are too valuable to be lost. We can go through this difficult period with the least casualties. That's his intention. That has been his intention from the very start. He's taken the slow road to do it all properly by the book. He exhausted all the legal possibilities to get that issue solved, and he will to the last moment wait with action and see where things go and guide the nation in a most secure way from A to B. So even if this scenario plays out, which I have shared in my posts on Facebook the other day, based on this video, just takes a little while to load here, by Juan Osavin, together with come on, yeah, sometimes my computer is so slow. Here it goes. Michael Jaco had an interview with Juan Osavin, and Juan Osavin is definitely related to the highest levels in the American government. He knows things nobody else can know when you listen through. He is one of those people likely associated with the Q intelligence drops. And he said, Biden will be sworn in, but we will prevail. Take a deep breath. Just allow it to happen. It is all for the show, if that's where it will go. So interesting is in that context that between, let me go to the right place here. Okay, also takes a while here to load. So between January the 4th and January the 21st, there is this window when Jupiter and Saturn, both in early Aquarius, will be in Hexagram 41. When I first saw this, I had already kind of a little bit of, I had to think about that. And it seemed, okay, let me just close this here. Okay, come on. Yeah, my computer is terribly slow sometimes. Come on. Okay, here we go. So, yes, I wrote here, studying astrological charts. I had this very uncomfortable hunch since quite a while, to be exact, since I've realized Inauguration Day would be in this window. So Jupiter entered it on 28th of December, will be coming out on the other end at the 21st of January. Saturn is a little later in the game, January 4 till February 21st, 21 in this area. Now, Hexagram 41 is a very interesting one. It is that area between 2 degrees of Aquarius to 7 degrees 37-30. It is the let me just go there, just one sec. That is the one. Okay, so it is the lower level is lessened in service of the higher dimension. So the physical reality is in a way suffering in service of the spiritual dimension. That's kind of a way to say it. So on the physical level, it expresses as decrease, symbol of lessening, loss, diminishing, reduction, diminutive of excesses, decline, bringing into balance. That's an interesting one. Dynamic balance, sacrifice. So it is a energy which is bending with the wind, allowing things to happen, allowing for a temporary defeat in service of a greater victory. So that is the energy. Jupiter and Saturn here are in this area, and as I say, Jupiter is in here till the 21st, at one day after the inauguration, which actually happens at a very interesting moment in time. More about this in my next video. So for now, I just want to say, be ready for an unusual turn of events. Be ready for that to happen, and just sit back and relax and know that the plan is in its unfolding, that it all goes according to plan. If this is allowed, then this is a necessary part of the plan to keep the peace, to make that transition into the second term of President Trump as smooth as possible. Juan Osaven speaks of a possible 45 to 60 day period till we have a very final victory over the dark forces, when the media will be exposed and all these people who have done the wrong thing will be arrested, because that was all allowed to happen, as we know. So everybody would show their true colors. There would be no second guessing anymore who's really supporting the forces of light. For now, thank you so much for listening, and stay tuned for my next one, my follow-up here. Okay, have a wonderful weekend, and just sit there and enjoy. It's one in a lifetime experience for sure, what we are going through here. This is something which will be remembered generations and generations into the future. So enjoy it while it lasts. Be in it 100% and hold the line. That's all which is necessary. Hold the line. We will win. Thank you.